Have you ever bought bottled water? If so, you may think that we should thank Alexander Pops, the scientist who invented plastics to let us drink bottled water. Of course, his worthy of respect, but the plastics he invented are emerging as a waste problem. I'm trying to convince you to solve the problem by demonstrating plastic waste problems for everyone involved. Not only did I purchase green products from Busan brand pasta not too long ago, but I also often buy them. Thus, as an eco-friendly product enthusiast, I would like to talk about plastic waste impacts on resources, the ocean, and health. And then, I'll tell you what solutions we need to adopt to protect them. First of all, plastic wastes are often caused by overpacking, which fuels the waste of resources. Also, as more and more people separate the trash without washing them, their recyclability decreases. Like this, more than $80 billion is wasted annually on easily used and discarded plastic packaging, resulting in the wastage of money as well as resources. Second, the plastic waste that enter the ocean flow along the sea, polluting the oceans worldwide. More importantly, light plastic waste fragments and causes microplastic problems, so it disturbs the marine ecosystem. Researchers show that millions of sea turtles and fish die each year from digestive disease after consuming pieces of microplastics. Third, microplastics, as mentioned earlier, are carried from plankton to humans by the food chain. In addition, bottled water and river water are also found to be contaminated with microplastics. According to a study, Europeans eat 11,000 microplastics annually. If so, what are the solutions? In order to avoid wasting the resources and the money, a government should encourage researchers to develop a technology that separates materials more than they currently do. Because there's a case that the plastic waste that someone has not cleaned thoroughly recycled when the technology applied. Secondly, to minimize marine pollution, we need to try a beachcombing by collecting plastic debris from the ocean and making art from them. If such activity is annoying, consumers can pressure the corporations to develop biodegradable plastic to reduce the number of the beachcombing. That is because there is a successful example influenced by public opinion. Various cafes are now equipped with straws made of bamboo, rice, or paper. Finally, a fundamental solution to reducing the health damage of plastic waste is to change people's perceptions and encourage them to use pure plastics. Accordingly, we ought to be more committed to studying microplastics harmfulness to the human body and strive to inform others who do not know about it. Fortunately, the government is going to release a platform that provides information about microplastics this year. So it's a great idea to take advantage of it. Until now, I have categorized and presented solutions for wasting resources and money, marine pollution, and health damage. Now, the time has come. Let us create a world free of plastic waste. Thank you for watching.